Good.
Isn't it nice for once not to be talking about the grand opening? When's the grand opening? How's the grand opening going to be? You ready for the grand opening?
Now it's what's coming up next week.
It's been 2 weeks. I'm holding off now on putting up more YouTube clips of the grand opening. I'm going to stop.
Has it already been 2 weeks?
It has been 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Well, 2 weeks ago right now.
Wow, yeah, I guess you're right.
It was
This is
preparation
Friday.
night, yeah. So I
Jeez.
stopped on the YouTube clips for right now so that we can get caught up to present day.
Right.
But I still have like 4 or 5 more hours of YouTube clips from the grand opening.
Wonderful.
We talked to so many people that day.
Awesome.
I mean, so many podcasters came up, just kids that were buying stuff.
Yeah.
The best interviews yet to come were it was the 2 guys dressed up as Spider-Man and this little 4-year-old girl, so excited. She interrupted the interview. How dare her? She interrupted the interview with glee to just hug Spider-Man. It was
Oh,
the best. It was
amazing.
really, really the best.
That's great.
So I want to reflect on the past 2 weeks, but for now, just try and reflect back on grand opening. We talked to you that day during a podcast, but that might be hazy.
Oh, the entire thing it's been such a blur. Like the last 2 weeks have been well, certainly that Saturday was bedlam. It was crazy. It was, and I'm sure that this is reflected in whatever interview you got out of me that day.
Right.
I frankly don't even remember being interviewed.
Right.
I can't believe how many people came out to support us. It was really, really humbling. Like people had said, oh, you've got, between all your social media, you've got about 4,000 people, coming out. And I was just like, those are Facebook numbers.
Right.
They don't matter. And
Each one of those Facebook people brought 3 people, apparently.
it's crazy. Like there was one point where they had said that their mother, a person had said that their mother had spent 40 minutes trying to find a parking space. And we asked them all, we were like, how many parking spaces do you have? And they have 4,700 or?
4,700.
Hold on.
How many parking spaces is
Anna,
there?
how many parking spaces
Quick
was
trivia
it?
question.
6,700. And I'm sure not all of those people came alone.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
So we had, over the course of the day, I would estimate that we had at least 7,000 or 8,000 people through here.
I equated it to when you first cut the ribbon and we were doing the podcast, you were directly behind us. I equated it to a wedding recessional where people just came up to shake your hand and hug you.
It was so cool.
And
yeah.
it was like a real sense of community.
Yeah, man. Everybody,
really was.
Like I saw people that I hadn't seen since high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's a true story. I had people that I hadn't seen since I was a teenager coming in with their families and everything, just saying, "Look what you did, man!"
Yeah,
and
that's
I,
awesome.
I couldn't believe it. It was really humbling. Very, very cool.
A lot of hugging, a lot of shaking hands,
lot of
and a
hugging.
lot of people standing in line at the register, like right off the bat.
It's true. We did. We had a lot of people vying to be that first buy,
Right.
which was very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did pretty well, and I think it's weird too that since then, typically the mall has had very reserved, traffic.
Yeah.
And it seems since we opened, we were just like, well, it'll probably dip back down to that, and it's
Right.
actually been pretty steady.
Because not only did people discover you guys, they discovered this mall. For
It's
some
true,
people, it was like
it's
the grand
true.
opening for the mall again.
I love it. Yeah, I think it was really cool because like a lot of the vendors, the food vendors and everybody that are in Artagon, noticed a dramatic rise in
That pizza place.
the pizza-
You guys were giving out 50% coupons, 2 for $10.
Yeah, them and the crepe guys, the Belgian waffle guys,
Uh-huh.
they all had to quit in the middle of the day because they ran out of stuff.
That was true for some of the people here that were set up at your tables also.
Sure. Yeah, Derek Fish, one of my friends who was set up here as an artist, said that they were doing MegaCon numbers,
Right,
which
and
is
he was like,
crazy.
I'm out. I'm
out.
sold out,
It
yeah.
was so it was really cool to see everybody doing so well, and we're hoping that continues as we move forward.
What about Gods and Monsters merchandise? What was some of the big sellers at the grand opening?
Well, let's see. Like our stuff personally,
Yes.
we saw a lot of the messenger bags going. The messenger bags, and of course the dice sets. The dice sets were a bit, and it's a small dollar item, but people were anxious to have something, I think. But we saw a lot of messenger bags that day. I was pleased with that.
I heard
and
people.
T-shirts.
I was going to ask. I heard people saying, "Where can I get the T-shirts?" Did you run out of them?
For the T-shirts, we did. We
Yeah.
ran out on the day and started taking orders for the second wave.
Excellent.
Those will be in soon. But yes, we saw a huge demand for that. So
So the grand opening was on the Saturday, the 13th.
Yes.
What does it say over there? Oh, the monitors aren't
Something
running.
like-
It was the 13th.
something like that.
But so the 14th, you came in that day. Did you
still busy.
You were
by
still
the way.
busy that
still
day,
busy,
right?
Yeah. So certainly not as much as Saturday,
No,
but I
but-
mean it was still a very I think everybody thought that the grand opening was all weekend.
Right.
So I think a lot of people it kind of spilled over to if I can't go Saturday, I'll go Sunday, and yeah, it's been a good week.
Some of the vendors or some of the items that you had that we were talking about forever. You know, the Phantasmagoria was here.
Sure.
You had the arcade games here, but then there were things that I didn't know about that were huge hits, like the guy making the balloon animals and the balloon creatures.
He's a machine, right?
Yeah, I mean, he just stood out there and he
hours and hours and hours.
He made it look like the store was like standing room only. It was like there was a line just for the balloon guy.
It was just like constant.
Standing there. Yeah, there's a couple of times where he had made a dinosaur, but put the dinosaur through the whole kid's body, like with the teeth and everything. It was so
cool.
amazing. They had
he's
the face
great.
painters as well was a huge hit.
Yes, he's amazing. Let's see, we had Little Coffee Shop of Horrors was out giving out the free samples. We had Shibi's Boba out. They went through 30 gallons of their tea and had to again quit early. Like everybody came in for that tea, man.
Let me real quick.
Sure.
I just want to make sure I did it right. I don't want to be rubbing. Okay, no, we're
sure.
fine. So you ran out of tea.
They ran out of tea.
Probably ran out of face paint.
We ran out of just about everything. I mean, we were really concerned that we were going to run out of product. I mean, we sold a lot of stuff that day. We had a really strong opening weekend.
Were you doing a lot of restocking when you closed that night?
We did. Monday was all about calling our distributors, getting new orders in, starting up that new diamond order to get more trades and hardcovers and the new comics in. That was the thing that we were hearing a lot of response to was that we didn't have a whole lot of single issues.
Yeah.
And we have heard you.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of comments popping up on the Facebook page,
true.
you know, and you know, that's just people have it in their mind what they think it's going to be, and then they come here and mostly positive. It was totally different than what they expected.
Exactly.
But you know, once in a while, people say things like single issues.
It's true. It's been an overwhelmingly positive response, but you do get those people that do give creative criticism.
A lot of people asking about the gaming area, when that's going to be a
true story, and that's actually coming soon. We've actually, I think we've posted the tentative schedule for the gaming today. So
on the
that
Facebook page.
should be on the Facebook page right now. But with the single issue thing, there were several comments about us being a comic book store that doesn't carry new comics. And I assure you that is not the case.
Good.
I didn't start with the single issues because I didn't have a subscriber base in place.
Okay.
So moving forward, as we've been taking on subscribers, they will set the tone and the base for what will be your standard comic book selection every week.
For the most part, though, I know your thought is you put all your merchandise out there, and then you look around and you're like, we don't have enough merchandise because this store is huge.
It's true.
But then you realize that day, it was wall-to-wall people.
It was crazy.
You didn't have any more room for
I know,
shelves
man.
anyway.
Another thing I noticed is, man, this place photographs really well.
Oh, the photos.
Like the photos and the video that was taken at this place.
People were putting up their own photos and videos that I had nothing to do with it. They were just posting albums of excellent photos.
Really cool.
It does photograph well because whatever we're doing here, there's always something awesome going on in the background.
Yeah, there's like, you know, we've got light in every corner. We've got, you know, strange reactive lighting going on. It's really cool.
During the initial ribbon cutting, when we began our podcast, we were just sitting there talking. You and Anna were behind us, just doing the receiving line of hugging and shaking hands. But I have one camera that was just a steady flow of people just walking by the camera constantly. There was always something going on in the background here. It was really, really cool. So we've certainly talked about the grand opening long enough.
Sure.
What are you looking forward to next? What's in the next week or the next month that we should be talking about now?
Okay. Well, obviously, like I mentioned, organized gameplay. We had a meeting with our rep Ian today. He's getting all of our ducks in a row to have organized play for Magic and Weisschwartz and what else? Force of Will.
Do the kids still play Pokemon?
They do.
Know. Okay.
They do. It's funny. We found out today that there is a strict like you have to go through
Pokemon headquarters?
Oh,
okay.
Like they do serious like background checks on you.
Right.
Well,
you guys are legit.
Yeah, we're legit.
You're legit.
We got this.
They just got to look you up on Facebook or
I just want to make sure that you don't like little kids or something.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I can understand, but that could be
Hey
a problem.
kid, have a Pikachu.
Right.
You know?
So gaming is something.
Gaming
to look
is something
forward to.
that's going to start happening very quickly. Also, we found out some pretty good news that the beer and wine license isn't going to be nearly as far off as maybe we were thinking.
Oh, you were thinking phase 2 next year,
we
January?
were thinking January, February.
Right.
It could be in place next week.
Oh, you heard it here first.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. So we did get our craft sodas in today. So we've got probably 30 or 40 different craft sodas. But yeah, it's looking like beer and wine may be as early as next week.
Oh, wow.
So between that and organized gaming,
you've moved that timetable up
it's
considerably.
true, considerably.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Very excited.
And
about
that's
it.
almost like having another grand opening.
It's true.
It's going to be
true.
a totally different group.
It's
then
true.
you'll start utilizing the side door more often
That's
and maybe
right.
staying a little bit later.
That's right. That's right.
That's
yeah.
excellent. So good. You've given us at least 3 things to be looking forward to.
Certainly.
Just give me an example of just like one surprise from these past 2 weeks that have just like, what's really surprised you in a positive way, or anything that you didn't think was going to happen that has happened?
Well, obviously, certainly that turnout. I would think the steadiness of the current traffic, the traffic that's still coming in. You know what? I'll tell you what it is. I got it. Is not a day has gone by that I haven't walked through the lounge and there not been a family playing a game.
I saw that too.
At least one family. Like I can turn around now.
On Monday or Tuesday after the opening, and there was actually
There's at
there was
least
a
one
family that
person
just
playing a
packed
game.
up. There was a family there. My daughters brought
That blows me away.
our
man.
little Easter egg from my family is we brought the Dora memory game here and left it here just to
Sure.
see if anybody ever wants to play the Dora memory game, Dora the Explorer.
That's great.
We'll just keep that here forever. But yeah, and we've come here at least 3 times and we've played Sorry or Shoots and Ladders every time. It's like, we can sit and play games. We just had lunch. Let's just sit and play some games. It's a place where you want to stay
It's cool
for a
too,
while.
and like you said, a lot of people have been bringing stuff and just
Right. Here.
gifting it to the wall, which I
Right.
think is really cool. And
Right.
and people are using them. People are and we'll be adding to that all the time. So
Well,
very
good.
exciting.
So you've told us about like what to expect the next week or two. Can we
Sure.
just look a little bit farther down the road?
Okay.
And just give us a hint of what kind of plans you have for, let's say, Halloween.
Okay.
Is that too far out to talk about?
It's not. I'm not gonna say names yet, but until we have pen to paper.
Yes, yes.
But we have a big signing, both an art show, like a big collaborative art effort for both October and November.
Okay.
The October one is pretty gigantic. And it's weird. It daily gets more gigantic because Anna keeps getting updates from the group that's putting it together, and they just keep adding names to it, and they're like names that have affected me in my life.
Oh,
So
very
it's
good.
very, very. If it turns out the way it's looking like it will, because on their end they're very enthusiastic about it and want to do it. We could have a really amazing show in October.
Well, all you need to do is put up the Facebook invite because you
Oh, dude.
saw what happened
Oh, dude.
when you first put it up, and immediately, like that first day, 100 people said, yes, I'm coming. But then it was growing, 100,
Oh, yeah.
1,000, and it's like,
The-
it just kept
The
growing.
people I'm talking about for this October thing, Anna, when she was starting the gallery, had like this, like a short wish list of people that, it would be really cool if such and such came, or
Right.
it'd be amazing if we could do a such and such show. Like 4 of these people
Have
have
already-
contacted her.
Okay.
This isn't even her reaching out. This is somebody seeing the thing
The
about
word has
Saturday.
spread. The word has spread.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what do we have to do? And she's like, this is who? Like such and such? And they're like, yeah, it's like, you have no idea. You're like the
Now-
bucket list.
Now the store is starting to do work for you.
Right.
It really
it's like
is.
it's really, really amazing and humbling. And we've got a lot of charitable organizations coming out of the woodwork to do things. We were talking to the Michael J. Fox Foundation about maybe doing a big Back to the Future thing here.
Gonna get that DeLorean here after all.
One way or another, I'm gonna get that DeLorean here.
That's great.
I've got a guy who sold me his collection. I'm actively buying collections again. That can go out. Who at the end of the thing said, "Hey, you know what? I'm putting together a screen accurate Jurassic Park Jeep. You want to park it in here for a while?" I'm
sure.
like, yeah,
Absolutely.
So I mean, there's all kinds of cool things, and just people want to be involved.
I've noticed that, like almost from the first day. Now people are starting to contact you, especially
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Sure.
Hey, I'm a cosplayer. Hey, I have a podcast.
Yeah, can
hey,
I do a
want-
workshop there?
Right.
It's
People
like
want to be involved.
Any
Yeah,
number of things, and I've turned several people over to you about
Right.
maybe joining the network.
People
and
are going to
do-
be joining us and be a part of our podcast. If we're going to do them twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Their
The more the
voices,
merrier.
they're very knowledgeable when it comes to
Absolutely.
when it comes to sci-fi for sure. So
Certainly.
some of them are on some of the YouTube grand opening episodes that are coming up right now. Some are already on there now.
Sure.
But everybody in one way or another wants to be involved for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
So that's the next few weeks. That's October, November. I'm thinking the only big thing that comes to my mind in December is going to be Star Wars coming out in theaters.
Oh man, right?
Is that something you want to plan for that?
Well, yeah, we'll definitely be doing. I'm sure we'll end up doing an art event going into it, like a gallery show or something where we can do a themed art event. Yeah, obviously Star Wars is at the heart of everything that we do.
Right.
So
absolutely,
it would be silly for us not to.
Yeah.
The real trick will be getting me here when that movie is in theaters, because I'm going to be in the theater
You're going to be in the theater
time.
at least back to back.
Oh, honey, it's all day, all year.
Speaking of sci-fi, I just saw today on the news. See, this is cool. We can talk about things that just happened.
Hit
I
me.
saw that Kirk and Spock have re-signed for the fourth movie now for Star
Great.
Trek.
Awesome.
That is Chris Pine and Zachary
Quinto.
Thank you for
Quinto,
saying his
yeah.
last name for me. They've both signed on for the third movie. It was
Sure.
already a done deal, but now they've signed on for the fourth movie as well.
Right on,
So we've
man.
got them for a while. That's good. That's
I love
good for
it.
all of us. It's a good time to have a comic book store.
For
I'm
real.
guessing, right?
No, it's great.
Not the past 6 or 7 months, but I'm saying right now
Right
it is for you,
now,
right?
like,
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now, yeah,
Right
finally
now.
right now. So, well, good. We're going to try and do this again next week. We want to get updates from you weekly, but
That'd be
from
great.
now on, keep just looking for the grand opening clips. I still got like 4 more big interviews
Sure.
coming up. They just take forever to upload. They take forever to edit. So, well, thank you for sitting with us today.
You got it,
sitting
man.
here with Todd Fisher.
Of course.
I didn't introduce you before. That's very
Oh,
foolish
yeah.
of me. Todd Fisher, the co-owner of Gods and Monsters, and we'll see you next week.
Definitely.